Do you know what time it is? That's right, it's Enigma time. So, where did we leave off last time? I believe we ended with the big swamp. So next up in the list is Do Not Dive. Alright, so we've got a little spring here. And okay, so if I click with the spring, then it makes me bounce. And I can bounce over the water like that. And I believe that long spring is maybe a multi-time use. Bendixen, an interesting name for sure. This is a pretty low adhesion floor. A little bit sort of, I want to say like laggy. Also, on the sides here, you can see in the block patterns 1, 2, 3, 4 in each of the quadrants. Doesn't look like there's any... Oh, I took that vortex and now I'm on the inside. And I'm just sort of bouncing around violently. So I guess what option do I have but to let it do its thing? Doesn't seem like this is the most friendly layout for getting matches. Like, there's a lot of crossover here. I might have to get sort of lucky to properly... Oh, I got a match. There we go. Okay, so that happened. And with Sagus, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but these skull blocks, they seem to be carving out a space block curve. Let's just sort of chill out in the corner here and watch them do their thing. So it looks like these blocks are sort of moving on a curve. Yep, they went through the middle for a second. So that's cool. I imagine that the name of the level is in reference to the type of curve they're making. I wouldn't know too much about it. Also, there's an orange oxide stone. Don't think I've seen one of those yet. Let's see. Alright. Trying to just sort of carefully make it across. Alright, so presumably there's a red and a yellow in the middle. But unfortunate. Oh. Let's try to... Yeah, the less time I spend allowing these things to do their thing, the better. So that's black. Alright, got another match. Oh. Careful. Alright. Nice. Over the ditch. We've got our spring friend back. Yep, so as I presumed, it's basically a multi-use spring. And it looks like I need to bounce off of each of these. And this looks like pretty standard oxide fare. Accidentally hit the wrong one there. So, blue. I misremembered. Alright. Got a lot of easy ones all of a sudden. Brittle planks. Have I seen this one before? Let me leave real quick. Yes, I've gotten a part-time on this. Yeah, so this was from the tutorial pack. So, next one. Steady. If you say so. So, we've got some wood here. And some skulls. That's actually pretty good. Means I don't have to backtrack here. I'm concerned about that stuff in the bottom corner. Trying to think. It doesn't look too bad, actually. Just a little bit spooky, but nothing I can't handle. Right. I remembered, last time, there was a puzzle that caught my eye, which I couldn't figure out what it was doing. I believe it was called... What was it called? It was called Ingrowing. That's what it was called. And in essence, it was a puzzle where things seemed to just be appearing at random. And I figured out, I found out where the levels are. And I opened it up in Notepad++, and I actually figured out what that puzzle was doing. And as I figured, it was indeed just randomly placing stuff. There was technically some patterns to it. It was like a random shuffling of what all of the different white tile arrangements were, basically. Got a new personal record on that. One other thing since last time was that I realized that I say a lot. I'll have to work on that, but here's a swamp. What was the level name again? Lesage's Revenge. Oh, I see. So that funky curve is now being applied to me, the marble, and not to any death blocks. So it's obviously going to make solving this puzzle just a little bit harder. And here's the cyan, even though there's only 8 oxide stones. I believe that it is possible to force the colors of which oxide stones are present. It's not too common, but... Oh, and the level resets when you die. Okay, so this might actually be a little bit difficult. So green, pink. Okay, got a green match lined up. And got a pink match lined up. That's good. Alright, cyan. And I died. Doesn't look like there's... I think I want to hit the side ones first. Let's try to figure out what's the best way to go about hitting those side ones. I think... Probably just want to go in and out as fast as possible. Sort of like that. Okay. Yeah, so this might take a few tries, but shouldn't be too demanding. Of course, the ideal here is that I get matches on the oxide stones on the sides here immediately, sort of like that, so that I don't have to go back over all of these. That's the true annoyance. I'll also have to get adjusted to the constant swerving of the ball here. So maybe if I go to the side... Okay. I think I'm onto something here. So it's automatically moving me up and down. So if I can ride those cycles, then I don't have to worry about moving the mouse horizontally. I can just focus on... or vertically. I can just move it horizontally and let the level move the ball up and down for me. Still going to be at least a fair bit of effort, especially to not die after hitting these. There's also the fact that you move differently on the floor as opposed to the swamp, which isn't the best. On the subject of getting a match on the first shot, so obviously in this case it would be a 1 in 7. Since the first color of the Oxid Stone you hit can be just about anything, and everything else is the 3 other colors, and then the 1 remaining stone of the same color, which is why it's a 1 in 7 in this particular case to get a match on the first shot. And then for the second shot, it'd be 1 in 5. But totaling both of those probabilities, you get a 1 in 35 to get the easiest possible opening here. That was green and cyan on the sides, wasn't it? Maybe it was blue. And I died. So this is by Andreas Lockman. I recognize that name from, I believe, the double pendulum puzzle. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. I think I need to really get used to riding the wave. I have to time my side shots with when I'm going up and down. I can't be a little bit late to it. Otherwise, I just steer into the water. Maybe I can finagle something with the movement at the start. Alright. That's not the ideal for what colors you get. But nice. Alright, I'll take a completion. I can grind the par on that some other day. Mossy Paths. Alright. Yeah. Okay. That is quite a thing to pan the screen over to. I am quite amused. So, well, you fan of mazes? 'Cause here's another one. Oh, and this one has quite a few Oxid Stones in it. So this is a legitimate maze. Also, yeah, so these mazes are randomly generated, and it seems that I was correct in my assumption that there is something specific in the code that allows for the generation of these mazes. It's called a resolver, and there's a whole bunch of different like resolvers which allow for different, basically like random or pseudo-random elements in these levels. This is a long-winded dead end, I'm pretty sure. I don't want to go around here. So let's go on a magical adventure. Also, if you can imagine, which you probably can, getting the par times on these maze levels is quite a nightmare because they are randomly generated. And if you get a bad layout, then speed running it gets harder. And if you get bad Oxid Stone luck, then you have to back traverse the whole thing, which is even worse. So I think I'm on the track to one here. I sure am. Red. I don't feel like the first one I hit was a red. I did forget its color, but if it wasn't green, then it was probably blue. So let's go around. Of course, I'd like to believe that perhaps there's a maze in this game which isn't randomly generated, but when the game is allowing itself to do the work for you, perhaps it's not a good thing to assume. So, just chillaxing in the maze. Right. I do remember one other thing I can talk about. So, as you've already seen, the levels in this game are made by all sorts of different folks. And as it so happens, I actually am in contact with one of them. I'm not sure how to fully pronounce their name, but I believe it's something like Lukas Schuler. I might have butchered it, who knows. And they're responsible for, currently, some of the sillier maps, like the Swamp Maze. And if you remember the giant garbled mess room with all of the floor tiles, inverted or not, that was their doing as well. And they have been enjoying me playing this game and promised me that not every one of their levels is going to be a nightmare to play. That is yet to be fully appreciated, but obviously everyone makes bad levels. I also personally, while I haven't made levels for this game, I sure have made bad levels in a lot of other games. So it'll be fun to see wherever their name pops up next. I think that's a fun thing to do for this game, is to keep track of everyone's names, because even if I don't know everybody, we can at least try to understand who they are by what levels they make, and what associations we find in the levels that are made by them. So where was... There has to have been another... Oh, I remember where that other one was. It was at the start. That's mean. Alright, let's go back up here. Level finished. There's another maze, 5 minutes. No Jumping Necessary by Jacob Scott. Okay, so there's some new mechanics on display here. There's these keys. We've seen the keys before. As you remember, they go to specific doors. And then there's also these floppy disks. And these are sort of like keys. They basically, if you fit the key peg into the key hole, then the floppy disks are basically like fitting the square peg into the square hole, if that makes any sense. If it doesn't, then your loss, not mine. And this is a 1 death restart level. That's good to know. I'm worried about my ability to access the floppy disks. Or specifically the blocks which take them as input. So if I put that in, I'll just insert that too, I guess. Okay, I think I see the way through. So you go like this. That's all those sorted. Let's put this in here. And now it's time to plug in a bunch of keys. Cool. I wonder if actually the ordering wasn't necessary that time. I'm pretty sure that all of the keys went to the expected. This is concerning. I can only go back over these once. And if I'm not getting matches, Okay. So this is actually something good to know, is that there is the option to add multiple of the same color to a level. And it seems that that functionality has been used here to allow basically this setup where you don't actually have to match oxide colors. You just have to touch every stone, basically. Which is something I'm very glad is the case, even if I did lose the puzzle just now. But it'll be very quick to get back to where we were. And I'll probably be able to solve that trapdoor puzzle. I call it trapdoor, but it was just a crumbling floor, really. In maybe a better way. And skip right over that key somehow. So not as bad as I expected when I came out on the other side of the wall there. Hear my phone dinging. I went the wrong way. I wonder why I'm not hitting that door there. I think if you hit the corners of these, that just makes it not work. Either that or I missed the key. And now the inevitable curse, where when you do something once, it's infinitely harder to do it again. Getting close to the end here. I think I missed my chance there. So I do, in fact, need to have the floppy in my first slot in order to be able to make that work. And I double tapped that one. You're getting basically a full course meal on all of the finer jank involved with actually interacting with the objects in this game, including bad like ball bounces and stuff. Should have swapped it while I was still on that safe ground. Nothing too hard though. I would definitely say that this is better than a lot of the other seemingly difficult levels that I've played thus far, such as the curve levels. And I clipped that corner and died. This is the true first try curse. You do everything on the first try in one go, then you die at the very end, and then every attempt back up to where you were before, you die on everything along the way. That's just how it goes. So, finally, back over here, let's see if there's a better way to solve this. So if I enter... So here's something. I don't need a return path for the last one I hit. I can theoretically put myself in grave danger and hopefully get something out of it. So I think the most dangerous one in this puzzle actually are the two ones in the middle there. Just because it's sort of easy to bounce yourself off the edge in those cases. Trying to think. It's probably faster to just draw a line in my head and think about it than to actually describe my thought process here. So I'll just sort of think about it for a few. It's that top middle one that's the most annoying, actually. You can't quite hit it and bounce back safely. It's a lot easier to just hit it on the across, but obviously doing that has some consequences. I can hit the one below me pretty quickly. Maybe I've got a route, actually. It'll be a little bit silly, but I think it goes something like that. Then like that. Then like that. And I died. I think I can make that work. It'll probably be a little bit dangerous, and there's probably a more optimal way to go about it, but I think I'll be satisfied if I can beat the level that way. Getting a little bit better at this part. So, hit that, hit that, hit that, don't die. Okay, I am coming up on a problem here. That was a required lucky move. Wasn't really any better way to go about it, so my solution path wasn't actually that good, but also the floor cracks in a weird way there, so yeah, maybe I should rethink that part. Not sure if you can hear, but there's quite the storm outside right now. Just some of that delectable spring breeze. I'll take it over the winter and the summer. So, let's try not to do the same thing we did last time. Maybe, what if we end with the top middle as the last one? The bottom right is a little bit weird. I was able to get a good bounce on that bottom right one last time, but I feel like there's got to be a better way than that. Really, that middle one is... I'm actually surprised at how much of a pain that middle one is, because you really have to hightail it out of there as soon as you go for it. Alright, I'm going to try something a little bit different. Still a little bit risky, but goes a little something like this. Okay. And now we do need to get another lucky bounce, which will be slightly easier on this side. I got it. Okay, level finished. Meditation. I believe we've seen this meditation before. So, what's up next? We've still got plenty of time. Par's 350 on that, by the way. And 101 on that. Okay, so you need to go pretty fast there. Alright, I believe up next is, where am I? I don't know. You tell me. So there's another vortex. As we already know, what those do is they basically teleport you. I'm going to nudge all of these because there can be stuff underneath these boxes. I don't actually know. What happens if I were to say... Okay, covering the vortex doesn't do anything. Okay, so that's teleported me into another room. So the first one I hit was green, and now red. Okay, got a match. Presumably there's 3 more of these. Oh, there's probably quite a few more actually if I'm seeing yellow here. So green, yellow, blue. Blue. Okay, so green, yellow. Alright. So that's yellow. That's presumably green right there. Then that's the other green. We're just chilling. You can see that even though the block types are the same, there is some slight variance in the visuals. I believe that's another thing that the game can handle, is that type of auto-tiling with slight variance. I'm not entirely sure how it works though. So, 51% solved. We're getting... Well, we still got a lot to go here, honestly, since a lot of that solved was repeats. So there'll probably be, I want to say at least 3 or 4 more episodes to complete this pack. Maybe 5 if there's some particularly nasty puzzles. Enigma whale. Alright, so what's going on here? This Catro game comes from Madagascar. In easy mode, there is an African... Oh, is it Awale? At the end of a turn, if the last stone falls in a non-empty row, one takes the stones of the facing row if there is any and repeats a turn. Okay, so this is looking like a complicated one. Okay. Fascinating. Okay. And there's more on the left here. So brown is 5 blue and a yellow's 10 blue or 2 brown. Okay. I at least understand that much. There's nothing up there. It looks like I'm going to have to figure out something to do here. And then when I'm done, I'll hit this switch here, and then that'll presumably open this gate. I'm going to hit switches and see what happens. So it looks like I... Okay. This glass is inevitable. It's indicating something. I'm not sure what, though. Let's just try stuff and see what happens. I'm not entirely sure what this indicates. Okay, let's restart. I'm going to have to reread these notes, I think. Sewing them... Okay. Counterclockwise, coming back to the beginning. At the end of a turn, if the last stone falls in a non-empty row, one takes the stones of the facing row if there is any and repeats the turn. At the end of the game, if one player cannot move anymore, the player who has the most stones wins. So presumably I have to win this game, but... I notice that the letters here spell M-A-D-A. I'm not sure if my goal is to fill them out. It might just be that these are like a stylistic thing. Oh, hold on. I think I get it. Okay, so this shows me my options. And when I press this, that performs my move. Okay. And I'm not sure if this is supposed to be my opponent on this side here. So hitting this switch seems to basically indicate which turn I'm going to perform on, or which row I'm going to perform on. So if I hit this, then that happens. And I've got some brown stones now, so that's good. This player is not looking in too hot a shape. So... let's try this. Got some more brown stones. Of course, I'm assuming that I'm interacting with the game correctly right now, but I very well could not be. What happens if I do this? That clears those out. This player's got a yellow stone. That's no good. Tides seem to be turning right now. Don't think that does anything. Yeah, I'm going to have to take a while to actually understand the rules of this game that I'm playing here. I think I'm going to reset. So if I hit this, so we always try to affect the most leftmost row. I'm really not sure what's going on here. Yeah, why not just spam that until something good happens? Okay, that did something. That player's looking in pretty dire straits. Not anymore. I wish I could comprehend this. I think that I would have some sort of game-ending state at this point, but that just seems to have moved a whole bunch of blocks to their side. Oh? I mean, this is certainly an interesting game state. But... Oh. Okay. I got let through. I completed the level. There you go. I definitely knew what was happening there. Alright. So, here's an interesting one. Just sort of a break from whatever madness I just got done with. So there's space tiles, and then there's two vortices in the middle there. Just sort of intending to send my ball whichever way. So I think I want to do something like... well, maybe a little bit better than that. What if I go gentle? That was too gentle. And I hit the wall. And I can pass over them, so that's good to know. Oh. Oh, if I pass directly over them, though, then they just... Okay. And I missed the final shot. Can't quite say one way or another how exactly to work on that. An English text-based riddle. Okay. And we've got some strange blocks here. Note. What do you want the first gate to do? Oh, is this a hint dispenser? What's going on? A. Okay. And if I hit it again, unknown. A. A. Is this just putting A's in different rows? Seems like it. So, what if we hit those? Is it going to be 3 A's? It sure is. Okay. Oh, hold on. Maybe I get something. So if I hit this, what I am about to assume is going to happen is that the first letter in the middle is going to be a C. It sure is. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that these rows here are basically a binary mechanism, and each row represents a letter of the word. So the note that gets dispensed here is a 5-letter word that we have to solve the riddle to open. And each of these rows lets us pick a letter. And there are 5 in each row because 2 to the power of 5 is 32. And that handles... That's the bare minimum number of binary digits you need to cover all 26 of the letters. So let's go back to this riddle here. What do you want the first gate to do? I would like to say open. So, trying to think. I'm going to need to do some alphabet counting. So if you can bear with me for a second, I'm going to recite the alphabet out loud and count on my fingers to figure out the letters and how they correspond to the numbers. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O. So O is 15 and P is 16. Okay. That should be easy to arrange for. Something like that. Then E is 5, so that'd be a 1 and a 4. And then N, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N. N is 14, so that would be 8 plus 4 plus 2. Would it? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Let's read it again. Open. Close? Do you want me to write close? Okay. So I do understand the construction here, but I do have to solve the riddle now. And evidently the solution is a 5-letter word. Let's put in close just for posterity. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. Okay, so 12 for L, which would be 8 plus 4. Then O is 16. No, it's 15. So it'd be these 4 up. Then S and E. E is 5. S is A, B, C, D, E, H, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S. 19. So that'd be 16 plus 3. So 16. Yep. So let's try this. Chloe. Okay, I got that wrong. How about now? Clope. Q, R, S. Oh, I need to, I think I got that wrong. So, is this close? Huh. Is there a synonym for open that's 5 letters long, which I am blanking on? It's interesting that it specifies the first gate. I'm not entirely sure what to make of that. Okay, you know what? I'm going to pause real quick, and I'm going to do some secret tech called looking things up on the internet. Synonym open. Let's see. There's There's unbar. That's basically that's the most promising synonym I can find with a quick search. So let's go back to some Enigma gaming. Unbar. So how do we make that? So this should be U. Then N. Which one was N again? I think... I'm going to just check real quick. Woos! Okay, that's a fun one. Okay. Then A. Then R is just S minus 1, which would be something like that. Let's try it. That does not seem to have worked. This is really fascinating stuff here. I'm going to go back to the internet. So to do, that implies that it's a verb and not like an adjective, like agape. Yeah, I'm drawing a blank here. Sorry for that nothing view. This might be the first level that I have to call it for instead of just solving it in the video. Is there an easy mode? No, there's not an easy mode. Also, this feather here in the icon, that is a symbol that shows you that a level has an easy mode, which you haven't beaten yet. So that's cool. What happens if I go out of bounds here? Oh, so there's punctuation in here. Perhaps if I say open, but with passion, that would work. So let's go and put in our E, so that's the easiest one to do. Then O, P, I believe N is this. Open. It does! Yay! Opposite. Close. Okay. So what do you know? It seems that some of my effort is actually paying off here. So I believe S was something like that. Just give it another check real quick. Epor. That's definitely not a word. So that should turn that into an S. I believe the L was 12. Is that going to do it? Close. Okay. If 10 equals 3, 5 equals 4. Okay, yep, 9 is 4. So I'll display the hint again. So this is the number of letters in each of these numbers, I believe. So we just need to put in 4. Is that it? I'm not sure if we need to just say 4 or if we need to do that impassioned exclamation mark again, but F is 6, so I'm pretty sure that's F. Then O is all of these. Then U is, I want to say that. And then R would be maybe that. I'll need to double check. Folk. That's definitely not it. If I subtract 2, and then Foon. I'll get it eventually, I promise. Oh, accidentally slid a little bit slow there, so now my ball's taking forever to get across the space. Alright, I'm going to put in that impassioned exclamation mark again. That does not seem to have done it. Perhaps I do not want to be super impassioned, and I just want to say it matter-of-factly, like 4. Alright. Congratulations. That was neat. A little bit silly, but I'll take it. And that finished better than par? Wow. That's honestly the biggest surprise this entire episode. Now let's go into a bunch of vortices. I probably should have quit it after that previous puzzle, but I think we can do one more. So this is basically like an indirect memory game. We've seen a few puzzles like a similar nature before. So let's just iterate through each one. So yellow, green, blue, green. Alright, so we can match greens now. That was red? Hold on, something's funky here. Are these yellow, green? How did I end up in a red? Cyan? What's going on here? Am I being bamboozled? I got a match, but that doesn't make me feel any better. You can't just line up all these vortices in a nice little row and then take me somewhere random. Who would do such a thing? I suppose there is one other thing I could try to do, which is memorize them based on position, since the camera does in fact pan out to the location that it takes me to, but I'm not sure if I want to rely on that. And I'm not even sure if these are taking me to the right place, at least laterally. Like, I might as well just bump around randomly if that's how this is going to be. I got another match. If it's pure randomness too, then I think the especially worrisome part is how long is it going to take me to get the last two? Like, I might as well just get used to the act of going everywhere all willy-nilly. Got another match, at least. Got taken right back to where I was. Are these... I'm not even sure if the positions on every one of the stones here is the same. Like, I feel like they're moving every time I go through the portals. Maybe I'm wrong, but something feels wrong here. Well, I'll certainly wait this out, however long it takes, but I do think I'll probably allow this to be the last puzzle for this session. Again, dubious to even call it a puzzle, but... I do think they're in the same position, actually, now that I've gone through it enough times. Which means that technically there is a way to at least know how to match the oxide stones when I get to each part of the map. But still not easy to memorize. Also, I'm going to the same one several times in a row. Like, a lot. Is this level not random? I'm getting sent back to the pink. And normally, by my calculations... Huh. Now I'm wondering. That's happened enough times now that I am extremely confident that it's not random. Because if I seriously did go to the exact same region that many times in a row, then that would be an absurd stroke of luck. So now I'm convinced that there is a pattern, and I just don't know what it is yet. So if I go through here, that's red. If I go back to the middle, then it's pink again. So this middle one really likes to be pink. And there's red again, further establishing the idea that there's a pattern. And if I go back through here, now it's a different one. Now that's green. And if I go back to the middle, then that's pink again. So if I go back through here, that is in fact red. If I go back through the red one, then it's still red. If I go through here, then that takes me to the black one. And if I go back through here, it's not taking me back to the black one, which is strange. But now it's taking me back to the blue one. Oh, this is so strange. I might have to bust out the special moves if this keeps up. And by special moves, I mean going to extremes. Okay, well there's a red. So let's say that we do this, and we go through there, and now we take this one. Okay, so there's a red match. That's helpful. And we know how to get back to blue by taking this. So if we can find one other blue, then we should be able to get another match that way. Back to red somehow. Okay, got a blue match. I think the only one left is green, right? No, there's also white. Oh, got a white match. So... oh no, we still also have to match pink. But... huh? Was that not... okay, so if I do this, then I go back to here. Okay, that was green. I do remember experiencing that at the start. So now there's only pink left. If we can get back to it. So that center one really likes to be pink, at least. I'm glad there's at least one constant in this nightmare of a puzzle. So I guess let's just iterate through all of the wormholes until we find out which one takes us to salvation. I think this is definitely the type of music that you would hear if you were condemned to a life of warp mazing. Maybe one day I'll escape. I'm kind of afraid to figure out what the par time is on this level. Interesting that there's a block down here in this corner. I was almost wondering if there was going to be like a tricky hidden oxide stone. I definitely should not have one more leveled into this. Well, let's use this pink one as an anchor. Like, let's try every combination of pink into one of the other ones. Since it seems like this is like the one true way to center ourselves. And then, as we go back through each one, inevitably, we should eventually figure out where the last pink one's hiding, but... So now we're at 7. There we go, level finished. Okay. Definitely not continuing, but let's do something a little bit special. So I'm going to, once more, show nothing for a bit. I'm going to go into the levels folder, and I'm going to find this level in the game files, and I'm going to open up its code real quick because I want to understand what was going on there. And it'll be like the last little bonus to end this episode on, if I can find it. It'll definitely take me a while to find it first, but... let's see. I wish I could show you my file explorer too, but... just to be in the know that I am certainly looking through a lot of levels right now. Okay, I think I found it. It's just titled Siegfried30_1. So edit with Notepad++. Okay, so let's see. Here is a notepad scene. And as you can see, I've opened it up. So, create world, fill floor with space, yep, width, So, there's oxide stones, I believe, at each of these locations. Then it shuffles the oxide stones. Function basis 1 xy. So drawing stones. I believe this is the function that's creating the little rectangles that we're coming out of. Set item it hollow, so that's the hole that we're appearing in. And it's creating those, all those different rectangles. Then basis 2, filled with metal and more stuff, and it's creating those. So then it's setting the wormhole parameters, and it's creating a whole bunch of wormholes. Interestingly, it almost seems like they're constant. Wait. Was I getting twice-twiced? Is that what's going on here? Were there 2 separate starting rooms? I think that's what's going on here. Oh my god. I got twice-twiced. Well, bravo. I'm going to assume that that's what's going on. And that I'll consider that a mystery solved. So... I just sort of had my mind blown there. I could not have anticipated that sort of series of events. This episode's gone long enough, but I hope it was fun to watch. I think this level was honestly even more indicative of the Enigma experience than last time. Like last time we had some evil levels. This was... I just got put through the ringer, and I had a whole bunch of fun with it, and I can't wait to play more of this game. I'm not sure if I'll grind the part-time on Enigma Whale, but who knows. Thanks for watching. See you next time.